Star Wars Revenge of the Sith is back. I couldn't believe it. My favorite Star Wars movie is back in theaters and it dominated the box office? Okay, a little recap for you. Star Wars started as a trilogy of sci-fi movies from the 70s. They were incredibly successful, gaining a huge fan base in the short time, being the defining sci-fi movie franchise. Following that, about 20 years later when CGI started to look pretty good, the creator George Lucas decided to create a prequel trilogy. They were not great movies, being cited as very flawed, which I agree with, but they were still very fun and still felt like Star Wars. I watched all 6 movies in order as a kid and I loved them. After that, Disney bought Lucasfilms and made another trilogy of movies that were not good. The first one was decent. Like the prequels, it still felt like Star Wars. The second one, however, Last Jedi, was a very bad movie. And the third one I've never seen because I lost interest after Last Jedi. They also made 2 one-off films. Rogue One was very good and Solo was a fun movie. But there has not been any new Star Wars movie since 2019. Almost 6 years have passed and we've not seen a new movie. Instead, Disney have been making a ton of Disney Plus Star Wars shows, which in hindsight was a mistake. Look, the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian were really good, it's just it all went downhill from there. The shows ranged from okay to mediocre for a plethora of reasons. The biggest one being they had no idea who their target audience was anymore. Is Star Wars for girls? Is Star Wars for little kids? Is Star Wars for people who enjoy political dramas? Who is the target audience here? When it was just the movies, that bit was very clear. They were made for a very general audience, skewing more towards men, but really anyone can watch and enjoy them. Because of the missteps and lack of focus, Star Wars has very much fallen out of the mainstream, and is unfortunately pretty dead as a franchise. I remember there was so much hype surrounding Force Awakens when it first came out. At my school, it was all anyone could talk about. No joke, one kid in my school got detention for spoiling the movie and winding a bunch of people up. It really looked like a fight was going to break out over Star Wars. Nowadays though, the only time Star Wars is talked about is when there's a controversy in one of the Disney Plus shows. If you haven't figured it out, that's not a good thing for a franchise. So unfortunately, Star Wars was pretty much dead in the water. Or so we thought. That was until Star Wars Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith re-released in theaters to celebrate the 20th anniversary. Now this is nothing new. Lucasfilm have been doing this for a long time, re-releasing their films on a special anniversary day. This gives fans of the movie a chance to get a nostalgia trip by seeing it in theaters again, as well as show new people the film in its proper format. But this was different. By the way, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to like and subscribe. We upload videos just like this one on our Remlore channel. We upload a great new video every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 3 p.m, so make sure you're subscribed with that bell pressed to get notified when we upload. We're trying to hit a goal of 1,000 subscribers, so make sure you're subscribed. It's free and you can always change your mind. Even though it was really only in theaters for 1 week, it grossed over $42 million at the box office. That's on par with new releases, and this 20-year-old movie who was just in for a quick drink beats pretty much all of them. In just 1 week, it became the second highest grossing film out, only behind Sinners, a vampire movie, with a $45 million gross. To be real with you, that's pretty close. Revenge of the Sith was almost the #1 movie worldwide. In fact, if you left it in cinemas with all the new internet hype, I'd suggest that it would become #1. So after I heard that fact on the radio, I decided to see the movie in theaters. And keep in mind, I never really understood the appeal of seeing a film in theaters again after it had already been released for years. If I wanted to watch the movie again, I'd just watch it on streaming or watch the Blu-ray disc. But as soon as the movie started with the Star Wars soundtrack blasting out in surround sound, I understood why you needed to see this in the theater. I'm not even kidding when I say this. Seeing it in the theater was like seeing the movie for the very first time. I watched this movie all the time on DVD as a kid, but I realized this is how it was always meant to be viewed. I was hooked on every word. My eyes were wide open during every action scene. And when the twists happened, I audibly gasped, even though I've already seen this movie. I was also dying of laughter right at the start, because Hayden Christensen appeared at the start of the movie thanking us for seeing the 20th anniversary re-release of the film, and said you guys really liked it when Anakin turned to the dark side. That we were happy he killed all of the Jedi, including the younglings. I just thought that was very funny. Now look, I know this is not the perfect Star Wars film. As I said, it's flawed, the biggest flaw being the dialogue and acting. The script definitely needed another look over, and the performances are always off. off. It's because Lucas was directing this time around, as before he had people to direct and proofread his stuff for him. Still, even with that, this is a very good Star Wars movie that retains everything great about this franchise. The core elements are all there. The amazing thrilling action, an epic adventure, the struggle between good and evil, cool, fun, identifiable characters, and a compelling, well thought out story. This is what Disney Star Wars has been missing. The timeless core traits that should be engraved in every Star Wars project. Disney should be taking notes if they want Star Wars to re-enter the mainstream. Maybe cool it with the Disney Plus shows and go back to making movies, because that's really where Star Wars belongs. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by liking the video. If you like this video, I'd love to do an in-depth review of the prequel trilogy. I really love those movies, flawed as they may be, I just love talking about them. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you all later.